the second time he's seen this opponent. Let's see if he can come out and have a better performance.
Indianapolis won the coin toss, and they have elected to receive. So the Colts,
because most teams, Jason, as you know, they want to defer the coin toss. They want to have the possession at the end of the half and to start the.
Joey Sly will kick it away, and Ashton Doolin, who missed last week's game with a Gould, retreats to the 2. Gould across the 20 and out of bounds, just shy of the 25.
The records when it comes to a division game like this, and even with Jonathan Taylor scoring 3 touchdowns in each of his last couple meetings, record in offense in the league. But Shane Steichen's messaging to his team this week has been, don't ever get complacent.
Against Tennessee. And they get the football to begin this game, and on first down, they run it with Jonathan Taylor, and Taylor's down. Amani Hooker finally gets him to the ground.
Jonathan Taylor, CD, you talk break tackles. The yards after contact is why he's been the best running back in the NFL this season.
Yeah, saw evidence of both on his first carry of the day.
Daniel Jones to the air on first down. Colts, this one covers 18 yards.
CD, that's why you look to score. What's been nice about this, and especially this play, Alec Pierce, the guy that's a deep threat, has shown this season.
Made a big play last week in Los Angeles, converting a 3rd and 10 late. He said it was again for Pierce, this time incomplete. Jalen Armour-Davis had the coverage for Tennessee. Touchdowns and just 3 turnovers, and you compare that to what he did over the last 2 seasons in his time with the Giants. Because of the hamstring injury he suffered a week ago against the Patriots, a massive loss for the Tennessee defense.
To try and plug the absence of Jeffrey Simmons.
Jones feeling pressure and connects with Josh a week ago with a concussion.
What'd you think there, guys, about the way that Daniel Jones stood in? But how about Daniel Jones standing right in there with some pressure right in his face and delivers a strike from one year to the next, like Daniel Jones?
No, I have not.
Shane Steichen running down the field, and Colts used their first timeout.
I want to go back to a point Jason made a bird pass. But Jason was talking this week about watching him on tape. I want you to illuminate what you're seeing in his.
Give that target for Daniel Jones to be able to find him. The other part is the contested catches. And Andrew, you mentioned Benjamin St. Juste, and he comes away with that catch. And those are the plays in the moments that not only give him confidence, but it gives Daniel parts of the game.
As physical as he is, it's no surprise to any of us that at one point he was a linebacker at the University of Cincinnati.
I'm looking deep for the tight end Warren, and it's incomplete. Amani Hooker came across to break that one up.
Where Tyler Warren lines up at the fullback position and goes out on his route, and Warren really just dropped that before Hook.
He was on his way down from his jump as the ball was still rising on him. Couldn't quite haul it in. Hooker with some hustle.
It downs, and a nice contested catch, and the extra effort gives him a first down. I've had a ton of success.
So good with the option routes. His ability to get up situations, you don't know which way he's going, inside or outside, and it's so tough to challenge and be able to compete with a guy that quick.
Jones rolling right, now coming back the other way, looking for Ashton Doolin. He makes the catch. Doolin not
really well defended by Tennessee, because it looked like the first option appeared to be a pass that's going to be to the flat, to the football. They're up there. James Lynch coming from inside out from his defensive tackle position, and he forced Doolin back into the trap.
The Colts were now pushed out of the red zone, but they have scored points on 64 consecutive red zones with time. Now chased out. T'Vondre Sweat following to the sideline, and James runs out of bounds.
And Charles, this is such a critical down, and it's going to be for the Tennessee Titans throughout this afternoon. Look, this Colts offense is when you're in field goal range. They're going to have to get stops to make sure they're making them kick field goals to keep this score down.
If he ends up seeing a 6, they failed their mission right here. They have the opportunity to throw them down right here.
He fires a strike to Michael Pittman, but tackled immediately by Barton. Pickup of 2.
Looking for, you're probably going to give up 3 here, right? Here comes an opportunity for Michael Badgley, the field goal kicker, but it's exactly what you talked about.
3rd game this season for Badgley with the Colts, and this will be a 43-yard attempt. On the board, and that's another red zone drive That three, it was 17-3 after the first. 5-0 in his career against Tennessee. Jimray DK from his own 7-yard line. DK with great speed, trying to get to the outside. Blake Shelton and Keith Urban, the new music competition series, The Road. New episode, CBS tonight. Our referee today, Lan Clark. 6th year as a referee.
Announces it's like a 3-part penalty. You know, if he comes out and says it's like, hey, offside, that's it.
6. After distance for the goal, first down.
See, that works because the legal blinds, did you get them? Were you blocking back towards your end zone? Right there had to be it.
Special teams penalties in the NFL, and they add to their total here in the first quarter. Pollard is dragged down. Big tackle by Kwity Paye. So Cam Ward, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the season, and Jason highlighted this in our open. Completion percentage, which is a season best. Ward in trouble. Ward trying to escape, throws, and it's incomplete. Grover Stewart was a play.
This Titans offensive line, you're going to see on that right side is where they've really struggled. Those guys haven't played a ton of football together this season. The communication and being able to pass off those things.
The groove, and he struggled his first 2 games back.
Beautiful pass by Cam Ward. It covers 22 yards. Mekhi Blackman on the tackles
and turnovers. The other part is he has to hit the passes that are there and that are available. Last week we saw him against New England. There were a reception. They needed that one in a big way, and he put it in a good spot for DK.
Pollard, and a little bit of daylight here for Tony Pollard. Across the 45 and down around the 40s a week ago against the Patriots.
Really good blocking by the guys up front. What I liked about this is Cam Ward's going to have to move up and commit to the run game, and that opens up an opportunity for him to go under center and go play action.
Back to Pollard, trying the left side. And CD, one of the big keys for Tennessee today, getting the tight ends involved.
Yeah, I think so, because I think of Tennessee throwing the football's got to be the tight ends. It's got to be Chick-Okonkwo, number 85, and Gunnar Helm, the rookie, number 84. Last year, find ways to use your strength to go against this Indianapolis defense.
By Jermaine Pratt. And that'll bring up 3rd down for Cam Ward in Tennessee. And that streak for Tennessee goes back to last year. They've actually gone 10 straight games without a touchdown for the Titans.
And that's over 2 different play callers. Brian Callahan, the former head coach, was the play caller.
Tennessee dead last in the NFL on converting 3rd downs. Ward in trouble, and Cam Ward is sacked.
Boy, Lou Anarumo and this Colts defense are happy to have Kenny Moore back. Return last lot position, and then Latu as well. Both of those guys getting in on the sack, and when you make a play like that, you're allowed to.
Johnny Hecker comes out, and Anthony Gould, the deep man. Beat around the edge. Anthony Gould with a nice return for Indianapolis.
Where's the barrel man?
Enough for a first down. That is Michael Pittman with his 2nd reception, a gain of 5, and it's 3rd and short.
Has been calling plays at how aggressive he's been. It almost feels like this might be 4-down territory, even though they're backed up in their own end.
And that got him rolling, did it 3 times within that drive. So 100%, there's a lot of confidence in his offense.
Jones moves under center. They'll run it with Taylor. And he's got the first down. Ross.
Oh, Andrew, as Jason was talking about the confidence in this offense, Jonathan Taylor was saying Shane Steichen is finding play for a guy like that. You can tell his cogs are always turning. He says he's scheming up things as they're walking out to practice, trying to get players.
Tightly knit this Colts team is. I mean, you had Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones going to Hinkle Fieldhouse out in Friday night, but that's the situation here as Jones runs out of bounds.
Well, you know what they call them, right? Football shots, back screens, cuts, the whole deal. They were talking about game planning and other things. Remember, we watched 2 game tapes and make their calls off their call sheet and the 2 game tapes to try and get ready. They are football 24/7.
On 2nd and 7, Taylor's got a big hole. Jonathan Taylor into Tennessee territory. Tackled at the
Party of 5, and Jonathan Taylor is the +1. Look at that gaping hole on the left side of the line of scrimmage, but he's not touched until he gets to the second level there.
Exactly right about that. And you're seeing all the big numbers for Taylor, but the numbers in 72 Smith. Those are his offensive linemen. Those are the numbers he likes to follow.
A big hit, but still able to hang on for 15 yards. It was Xavier, man.
He gets caught right to your point, right behind Tyler Warren, and you can't get around that edge. I mean, he's just an old school football player. He gets up, once he gets his big paws on it, you better believe he's coming down with it.
Quick for another Colts first down. Quandre Diggs on the tackle, and JT and the Colts are humming.
They're so well as a unit. Watch how this blocking forms right there. And now it's nothing but a major hole for drafted as a left tackle coming out of college. They moved him to guard in the spring, and boy, has he embraced his new role. And he's this
could be the final play of the quarter. They run it with Taylor again. JT to the outside. JT, his 12th touchdown of the year. Touchdown and 1 through the air, and it's 9-0 Colts.
The right side of the Colts offensive line just drives fine, doesn't miss. Jeffrey Simmons out there. You got to be kidding me. That drive right there was just all Jonathan Taylor, and it's all.
That is one behind Lenny Moore for 2nd in franchise history.
You talk about 2 Hall of Fame running backs ahead of him, and he's creeping up on them. But I've got to go back to Jason. The way they're running the ball right now, there's not much contact until he's 10 yards downfield.
And as the Titans do. DK bounces up across the 30, and we bounce down.
Society's Hope Lodge for an afternoon of art therapy with the patients and their caregivers. Hope Lodge provides a free home away with the patients, painting footballs and picture frames, and ended the night sharing a meal together.
And it's 10-0 Colts. 1 points. Ali Gay leaving the field and heading to the Tennessee locker room. 2nd and 5 for Ward. Nice catch by DK with some room to run. And he is tackled. DK, the rookie out of Florida, began his collegiate career at Wisconsin. And we born fast or you're not. And I've got good genes, so I was born fast.
It's such a big game. 0 catches after the first quarter. They've got to keep him active the entire game today.
They did release Tyler. Oh, man, now he's going to try to keep it, but nowhere to go. And that's Mekhi Blackman bringing him down for a loss of 3.
As Nick Cross ran out, and Cam Ward makes a great pass. Now this one just can't handle the snap, and the ball hits him. Rates that Cam Ward just has to make on a consistent basis, down in and down out. We know he can do the incredible, but
the defensive coordinator who can get exotic here on 2nd and long.
And he's got Spears. Good job by Cam Ward to keep that play alive, and Tajay Spears.
Protection to begin with, wasn't it, guys? Look at all the time he has. The coverage was good downfield, so he had nowhere to deliver it. And making sure they could get the ball downfield. Neville Gallimore had a chance to get him. He slipped away, brings up 3rd.
Colts fans making some noise with the play clock down to 2. Ward's down on the play. Ward is stopped short of a first down. There's 1 flag in the backfield.
This has a feel of offsetting.
Here's Land Clark.
There are fouls by both teams, and they will offset. Holding offense.
So J.C. Latham, and for the Colts, Cameron Mitchell called for the penalties. We'll do it again.
That hole grabs him. It just tugs on the jersey, and there it is. Mitchell, right in the middle of your field, grabs Okonkwo. If he changes it up and tries to bring some pressure.
Going down the sideline, Spears stiff arm, and finally shoved out of bounds. Bynum saves a touch year long for the third year back from Tulane.
Look at Zeitler, number 70. Terrific block on Mitchell, number 444. Was out with Tajay Spears. When he came back inside, he got caught in all the traffic and couldn't get to. Bo Hardigree with a big-time call, catching the Colts, coming up in a little bit of man, and they took advantage of it.
It'll be 1st and goal for Tennessee as you see interim head coach Mike McCoy now in his second game. So Cam Ward will reset the Titans, trying to see Tennessee punch it in.
And I really like that call by Bo Hardigree right there on the third down. Guarding Tajay Spears, you see he's reaching for that ball, and that right foot steps out of bounds before he can reach it and get him on this defense. Can you keep them on their toes? When they're expecting you in drop back pass, can you sneak a run in here and there?
Those are offensive linemen as an extra guy on the field.
Pollard in motion. Ward fakes the handoff, looking to throw it. A response by Cam Ward and the Titans. Helm had tight ends day.
Watch how they end up slipping Okonkwo, number 85, into the flat and brought Helm from left to right. Continues to tell everyone it's not a lack of effort on our part. We haven't laid down on this season, and they're showing it here.
1 yard run by Spears. The longest run by a Titan since Derrick Henry. 2 year Helm. And it's a 10-7 game here in the second quarter. Gould tiptoes his way up to the 29-yard line. Well, there's a good history here between the two coaches. 16, Shane Steichen was on his staff as both a wide receivers coach and a quarterback coach. McCoy allowed a lot of his young coaches on what was a great staff in San Diego to get in front of the room. McCoy and how he has been able to grow in this league. Jones on first down, and he's got a first down.
Run pass option.
It definitely was, and it was fun talking to Daniel Jones about the run-pass option and RPOs, but what he's doing now is even another step above, so he felt like throughout the course of his career, it's continued to...
Down and cannot break a tackle there. Gets up after a gain of 2, but what a...
20 yards every time he takes the handoff for Daniel Jones. No Simmons in the middle. They've been able to get their zone running. Not touching him before he gets started. You have no chance to get him down in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, that run really wrecked him. He's down the
180. Amir Abdullah in it running back. And Jones to Pittman. Tipped up in the air, and Pittman catch, and it's good for a Colts first down. A gain of 14.
The body, that tip in Carroll becomes much more of a defensive back ball. But since he knew where it was, he was able.
6 of the last 7 plays for the Colts have picked up at least 10 yards. Abdullah and Tyler Goodson are the running backs behind Taylor today. DJ Giddens, the
veteran, and he's proven there's times that he's gotten in on third down and made plays. Last week in the kickoff return game, making pro and picking everything up right away.
He said that he has a healthy sense of delusion about being able to play the...
Jones to Warren, and he's got a lot of room to run. Tyler Warren down at 21.
And where did this also... Keep an eye right here on the center, Tanner Bortolini. Kevin Winston, the rookie out of Penn State. If Bortolini doesn't have that mobility to get down the line, throw that at Warren.
Jones looking deep down the field, and it is caught. And this one's going to stay. It's going to...
Defense, number 18.
Sometimes it just feels like everything's going your way. This is incredible by Michael. And then go up there and just pin the ball between his bicep and rib. An unbelievable catch. That was a...
Armour Davis, it's hard to give him a negative on it. He sees the play the entire way. He's at the hip pocket of Pittman. He makes a play on play. Daniel Jones is massive on that drive.
Pittman ties a career high with his 6th touchdown, his own 5-yard line. And DK is tripped up. But how about the
first catch on this drive that we're going to talk about? The ball hits him square in the face. And he's able to look up and still, you said it, you're just so pissed off. You're in great position. And then Michael Pittman just does a better job of out-muscling you and coming away with it.
For every quarterback he's ever played with, his plan's working well with Daniel Jones.
Cam Ward throwing on first down, incomplete. Sure. by Darrell Nchami, who's making his NFL debut today, elevated off the practice squad.
Half for loss, so pass rushing is a big part of what he does. And he's getting his opportunity today, and he's already making the most of it. But the prime you have in football.
Quick pass to DK. Zaire Franklin on the tackle as we await the call from Lan Clark.
That call came from Jabir Walker, the field judge.
Pass interference. Offense. That penalties decline. Third down.
Had to be someone blocked. It means you got to be more than a yard downfield too, correct? So they're into it and engaged, but they're past
this reverse course. He has now accepted the penalty, so it's still second down, but the ball is back on the 21-yard line.
Donnarumma as your coordinator, and you feel like your big guys up front can create pressure and get after the young quarterback.
And that's a short completion to Alec Iomanor. Gain of 5. It'll make 6-1 start on their feet here at Lucas Oil Stadium.
And the third and long has been these. And only converted 15% of those. And that's the issue. First and second down puts him in bad third down situations.
For Iomanor, he was open, and Ward threw it too far.
The pressure that gets created that you have to be precise on all of your shots, right, Jason? I mean, that's third and long. It's throw that far downfield. So the Colts just said, yeah, okay, he was open, but you got to make sure you hit it.
Is 25. Anthony Gould right up the middle takes a big. And the Colts offense continues to be scary for their opponents as that pass is broken up by his tops in the NFL, and they have scored on all 3 possessions so far today.
Yeah, they are rolling, and AJ
has been one of the most vocal people along this sideline. There's nobody slumping their shoulders or sulking here. This team is locked in. Sidelines, guys.
Yeah, both of them are captains, both showing their leadership.
Ridley out again today as Jones is taking a deep shot.
Really good coverage by Baker with L'Jarius Sneed going on injured reserve with a quad that he injured last and gets beat on the inside, and he's running there. Does a good job catching up, but just a miss by Daniel Jones on the go route.
I just think he needs to play with more confidence, and he did a nice job on that route.
Titans defense looking for well-designed play, and Roger McCreary with his first sack of the year.
Trade rumors, but he's coming right off the edge here, and he's the guy that comes and gets Daniel Jones. You don't even see him in his screen, and coordinator brings the guy off of his man that you don't see to get the free running sack on Daniel Jones.
Only Sanchez punting for the first time today, and DK with a fair catch at the 22 with 5. Titans have 2 times. Here's Tajay Spears on first down, and he's spun down at the 27. Back to New York.
Gibbs against his former team. Powers into the end zone. 7th rushing touchdown of the year. 14-10 Broncos.
Boys and the Broncos.
He knows having quietly a good football season. Javonte Williams. Yeah. He's a couple years.
It's Spears again. And Spears stretches up to the 30. That'll make it third down. And
Jason, that was about to pop big. Yep. They caught him stacked up at the line of scrimmage, blocked it well, and
pressure coming. Ward for Tennessee, a gain of 15.
It's a really good job by drifting and fading, and they've worked with him about drifting, but right there works in his advantage, moving away from the rush.
Sacked 30 times this season. He still remains pretty unhurried or unruffled by pass rush.
Action. And Ward now steps up. He's going to keep it himself, and he tumbles his way across.
It definitely is, and to your point, Andrew, they go play action. They have a 2-man route, and they're trying to get deep. Look at the eyes right there. Look at the vision. He knows what he's looking at. It's taken away. Don't waste any more time. Use your athletic
attempt in the last 2 games, and that's exactly what they're looking for if the play's not there. And Spears chase plays, and that CD is the example of it.
And what he means by that is don't try and go, but otherwise take that and have those accumulate because the big plays will come as a result after.
And the Colts have won the last 5 meetings. Prior to that, Tennessee had won 5-4.
Andrew, I saw those pictures of Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. I started to have nightmares up there in the booth.
Next-round pick back in 2009. Ward, now in trouble, escapes the sack. And let's see what Mike McCoy wants to do here. The punt team is coming out onto the
case of fakes because Tennessee is notorious with John Fossil as their coordinator, but there's pay. And he didn't get the sack. Bones Fossil, good for a fake. You better play for it every single time.
Punting here, trying to pin the Colts back. 2 timeouts to work with. Here in Indy with Jason McCourty, 1:47 on the clock. Jones on first down to Pittman, who's had a big first half, out to the 32-yard line on 4th down.
Yeah, I think that all the development is about Cam Ward, and sometimes 4th instead of anything else.
And Jones is sacked for the 2nd time. It's Draymond Jones, who now...
And I think, guys, that Denard Wilson, the defense coordinator of the Titans, I'm pretty sure he gathered his troops before they went out there and come out the way they are. Guys, if we can stand up here and go into the half, having held them off the scoreboard one more time, big.
Keeping the play alive, and now throws it incomplete. Good coverage down.
Mike McCoy chose not to use a timeout, and those are the situations you go back to a week ago where they didn't really end the half to put Cam Ward, Charles, to your point, in those situations to be able to get points before you go in.
Fast, stop the clock naturally for them.
Colts will run it. McCoy will call timeout. And the Titans will have 1 remaining. So Cam Ward will get the ball back and have 1 timeout as Rigoberto Sanchez has come out to punt.
Leg at the half. But this is a vital one because Brian Mason, the special teams coach of the Colts, went here because DK, with a good return, can set them up with excellent field position to give Cam Ward a few shots.
Sanchez. And along the sideline, it goes out of bounds with 26 seconds to go.
Okay, so hold on. We want 3 double chickens and fries. Sorry, 3 cheese.
Haha, very funny.
Looks like just a 4-man pressure here with everyone else in coverage.
Kyle Manor up at the 46-yard line, a gain of 26, and Mike McCoy will call his final time. Mike Vrabel say last week that Ward has pocket courage and contact courage. Perfect.
On Cam Ward, and he still throws an absolute dot over the middle to Kyle Manor, where only this season, all the sacks, the quarterback hits, he never seems frazzled, never has his eyes down looking at the rush. It's always looking.
Him and the youngsters, DK 17, Kyle Manor 5, 3 rookies, and add Gunnar Helm.
A wise decision there as they can't stop the clock. They have to get up and spike it. With 7 seconds.
Ball down on the ground, let the official touch it to make sure it was valid for play, and then get the spike in, and they know they've got a dome.
Don't forget, Verizon Halftime is coming up with scores and highlights from our crew back in New York. A little bit longer. How about Chimray DK? Staff, he had 4 catches for 70 yards.
And really, if you break it down, it was the first quarter.
Yeah.
Never caught a ball. K-17, Kyle Manor 5, Helm 84 to go along with Ward number 1.
Joey Sly has made 6 field goals this season of 50 yards or longer since. Out of the hold of Johnny Hecker. Sly's kick on the way, leaking right. So we'll see what the Colts want to do here with 1 second to play.
To set it up, and they just can't provide the exclamation point to finish it off. Right misses it to the right.
You said it, big leg, had enough space on that one, just couldn't get it in between.
Let's see if they want to throw one downfield and take a shot at it.
Yeah, with 1 second, Titans in a prevent defense with 3 to the half, with the Colts up 17-7.
That have kept them squarely in this game. They're going to have a big half, and Cam Ward's going to have to continue to protect the football.
Fortune-changing plays that they missed on in the first half, that's what they're aiming to hit in the second.
Here is Deeks to get there for the Colts. And a moment ago, A.J. Ross with Shane Steichen.
Coach, your offense with 205 total yards.
I thought it was good balance there. We had the one drive with the 3 and out there, and then the 2-minute drive at the end. I think our defense doing a hell of a job. We got to get it.
Last 3 drives, a total of 8 yards. That includes the one pass at the end of the first half when they spiked the ball. And what numbers stand out to you, Charles Davis, from that first half?
For me, it's mainly the game, Jason McCourty, that at halftime, Tennessee would be averaging more yards per play than the Indianapolis Colts, who are the hottest team. And these downfield that are there that they've just missed on in the first half, that can change things for Tennessee in a big way, and that's where they're looking.
Ward fires a strike, and there is Okonkwo with his first catch.
It's a really good job. Once again, Cam Ward, a little bit of a play action. Okonkwo getting on the edge. Charles, Tim just being on the football field allows the run game to get going as well.
And this offensive line, which has had its
handoff, and good pursuit there by Latu, showing off his speed. And have averaged +6, not average, they are +6 in the turnover department in their home games.
I think youngsters, as they continue to play.
Here's Jefferson on the slant, and he reels that one in front of Mekhi Blackman.
I think moving the ball through the air for Tennessee, the tight ends, as you outlined, but to me, it's DK targets in the half.
Absolutely, and that last reception, it gets them to these third down and less than 5. These are the third play to keep the drive going.
And let's see if Mike McCoy wants to turn into a 4-down game here in the second half if they're close.
Veteran out of Albany State, a loss of 1. It's 4th down, and now decision time for Mike McCoy.
I think he's going to punt it. I think it's in Mike McCoy.
Changed his mind.
You know, I think he thought about it. If they had gotten Mike McCoy, he's a different vintage. It's hard for him to say, let's do it. I know the fans are saying,
punting to Gould, who watches it bounce into the end zone. Cam Ward a little frustrated as the Titans were not able to continue that short down. Did not get his wish as the Titans punt, and it's Colts ball at the 20. Here's still going, Taylor! The distance!
Yeah. But these are tackles in the open field that absolutely have to be made. And the first one is coming up right here. But the speed of Jonathan Taylor ended up taking away the better tackle opportunities.
Charles, I just told you in the break, Jonathan Taylor, he is unbelievable when he gets that amount of space. Such a hard guy to bring down, but those are tackles.
An 80-yard touchdown run. That's the longest touchdown run. Jonathan Taylor. And chance of MVP here at Lucas Oil Stadium. PK run out of bounds. So Jonathan Taylor in Colts history, his 63rd in his 75th career game, and now one away from
week where he talked about his running backs coach of Wisconsin, John Settle, and how John Settle advanced his game and got high school. And can you believe this, guys? Wisconsin delayed offering Jonathan Taylor a scholarship because they weren't
Jermaine Pratt on the tackle for the Colts defense.
Is on this offense to do something. The game is in the balance. Now down 3 scores. If you don't muster it.
Ward on the sideline, and that is going to be incomplete. Stays out the rest of the game, 24-7. Colts go on to win. A lot of people are going to question that decision by Mike McCoy in battle, and on the next play, Taylor goes 80 yards.
And I think it's an accumulation of a lot of things last week before half. And to your point, the situation they're in, not going for it, as now Lou Anarumo is showing everybody at the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 3 and a quick 3 and out forced by the Colts defense.
And this play was and be great tacklers. All three were true on that play. Everything worked exactly as he would just preach. Gould should get the ball on the punt return.
This is the 1,000th punt of Johnny Hecker's career.
Derrick Henry seeing Houston Texans defense.
Here he goes again. But Tennessee is ready. He mentioned the play of his offensive line.
And boy, you talk about 5 playing as 1. How about this alley? Again, wall it off, sifts through, and now the vision to see where the cut is and pull away from the attempted tackle. This game, he's getting a lot of room to run before he gets contact.
Pittman, another catch, stays on his feet, picks up the first down, and it goes for 18.
How did he stay in bounds, guys? Look at his hand going down. And remember, as long as it's a hand and not a forearm, you're still up.
Taylor. And this time tripped up at the 44-yard line. Actually, defense that's already without Jeffrey Simmons, Arden Key, and L'Jarius Sneed in season. As you see Hooker being attended to, Kevin Winston has taken his place, and that's the tight end Warren.
I bet those were some serious practices, huh? With that safety position trying to cover the tight ends. Versus Winston, that'd be a battle every day.
Absolutely.
Winston, the third round 3. Between the tackles for a gain of 7, but here's the call.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty.
Make it third down again.
He just got caught for a penalty, but anyone, there's the hook. Remember, he was a college left tackle. This is all new to him.
Just hey. Jones looking deep. Pierce is down there. Alec Pierce. 45 yards for Pierce.
Alec Pierce of going up and getting the ball, running a go route. Baker's in good position, but has him on a good job by Daniel Jones. They were bringing 5 guys. The line picked him up. He hung out in the pocket, relaxed.
Jones, Taylor. And Taylor spun down at the 10. You go back to Alec Pierce. Ball at Northwestern, older brother, basketball at Carolina. And what Alec Pierce said is that everyone in his family, and boy, did he use it there.
So when they played pickup hoops, they were just backing Alec down, huh? Everybody taking him in the low block.
2nd down and 8. Pressure's coming. Jones trying to elude the rush. Throws in the heat in the backfield.
One more big play for this Tennessee defense, because it looked like one more good play here. Force another field goal. Let you know this Tennessee team, despite their record, is still fully engaged.
And now we have a stoppage, and one of the Titans is being tipped. And it looks like he will be now examined in the blue medical tent on the Tennessee sideline. And he is replaced
from upstairs from the medical team, seeing something they didn't like, getting him out to get him examined.
A touchdown.
And this is the type of territory where Pittman's conscious of him in this situation.
53. Jones rolling right, looking for someone, throws. He's got Downs, touchdown. But Josh Downs is in the end zone. We'll see if it stands. Officials are huddled up. And we await the call. Josh Downs is
holding. Defense number 17. A penalty decline. Touchdown.
The event, it's a Colts touchdown, 2nd of the year for Josh Downs.
So really good job by Daniel Jones when he scrambled, and that's when he lets it go. And an excellent job by Josh Downs on the scramble drill of following the path of your...
Daniel Jones has now thrown for at least 200 passing yards and a touchdown, and at 84 yards passing on that drive is back all of last year. Badgley boots it today across the 30 and he spins his way with a flag down. After Josh Downs has now scored 3 touchdowns in 6 career games against Tennessee.
During the return, holding.
Let's take a look at some of the early headlines from the Week 1 injury and the loss against the Eagles. Drake May and the Patriots continue to roll. They've now won 5. Cincinnati Bengals and Josh Allen rolling with the Bills over the Panthers. Next week they host the Chiefs.
Out of that group, you know the game that struck me the most? Because of something Jason said earlier, because of that defense of Cleveland. And it could have felt like almost a letdown game. And they managed to handle it and score 30 points to
break it up. We had a good chat with Cameron Bynum. Officer needed some extra money to afford to live in the San Francisco area. So after class and after football, he would marathons for 3 years. He did it. He made $20 an hour. And Cam Bynum zings one into Okonkwo. 23-yard pickup there. Cam Bynum also, this was last year with Minnesota.
That first one was from Parent Trap.
This was the Sidewinder.
He did.
He did.
20 to 30 celebrations in the bag. That's a creative young.
Trying to help him come along as a player.
Ward fakes trying to convince Cam Bynum to do a little pat down as one of his celebrations, as an ode
to act like he thought it was a great idea, though. So,
which it was. Now we all know. There was a part of me today when I woke up that thought if he gets an interception and pats someone down,
he just might do it.
Ward to the sideline, and Jefferson, was he in bounds? No, out of bounds.
Comes up. Where we're going to talk about the play call of Lou Anarumo and what he's able to do. Cam Bynum said everybody else on the defensive side of the ball, he brings them to Lou to get answers to make sure on Sunday.
See if this is 4-down territory for Tennessee on 3rd down and 6. Looked like Cam Ward could have kept that. Instead, it's 4th and 6, and the offense will
a bit more to his game. It's not much of his game, guys. Like he's talked about quarterbacks he's liked in the past. Never going to be Michael Vick. He's moving to throw way more than he's moving to run.
Ward over the middle, incomplete, but multiple.
Yeah, they're going to get a first down out of this. Contact downfield, a receiver making a cut zone anyway.
Yeah, that was Edwards on that they're going to get with pass interference.
Hey, he's holding him more than anything.
There are 2 fouls by the defense, holding a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So they call it on Kenny Moore, the second one.
Either trouble handling the shotgun snap, and it threw off the timing of everything for Cam Ward. But this for Kenny Moore, because once he struggled with the catch, everything sped up in his system.
And Spears is down after picking up a yard.
He's elected to run the ball, and I know you look at the scoreboard and you see 31-7. It feels like they got to go in 2 minutes develop Cam Ward, and what that has to come with is running the football and not putting too much pressure on him, no matter how.
More on the slant. Kyle Manor is maybe more balanced today. You look at it. 16 runs against 24 passes for Tennessee.
Your offensive line just get beat up play after play. You know, every time just teeing off on an offensive line is still trying to come.
It's 4th down, and the Titans will go for it again. Cam Ward is 14 of 24 for 169 yards and the 1 touchdown.
Lou Anarumo's taking all the linebackers off the field. It's defensive linemen and all deep.
And he is buried. DeForest Buckner.
DeForest Buckner, he's the guy. He is standing up. There's 4 defensive linemen around him. That's the design of Lou Anarumo. Yes, we're not going to get a free runner, but we get 5 guys up at the line of scrimmage, and then we'll take that 10 out of 10 times.
And the rookie JT Tuimoloau, number 91, was a big help by.
For Buckner, that is his 4th sack of the year as Taylor gets the carry.
We are in that part of the game. What is his mantra? You throw to
score.
That run to close things out part of the game.
And Charles, to your point, coming into today, the Colts had the most. Pittman is going to be just short of a first down. Pittman, the Colts are one of 6 teams coming into today that did not have a 100-yard receipt on over 100. Pittman is on the doorstep.
Throw it to him again. Hit 100.
Jones and a low throw for Pierce. 4th down and
you don't want to. There's no need to punt it away with your offense. This is definitely a go for it spot.
And they've had a lot of. Taylor is the running back. A pitch to Taylor. Can he get the yard? He can. And the drive continues of the 3rd quarter. It was a 10-point game at the Titans with Jason McCourty, Charles Davis, A.J. Ross, Gene Seratora, our entire crew. I'm Andrew Cattle. Jones has got a wide open Warren with a flag down. It's Tennessee.
Yeah, it's going to be on Cedric Gray. Amir Abdullah was sneaking through the line of scrimmage, and they were going to hit him.
Holding. Defense number 33. That penalties decline. Results of the play.
Offense, how it's really come together. An unsung hero on the offensive side of the ball is the offensive coordinator, Jim Bob Cooter. He really leans on Jim Bob Cooter throughout the week, throughout the season, to put together the offensive game, because as a head coach, you can't be in.
There he goes again. Taylor, yes! History! The first consecutive games against the same team.
It's a pass.
Yeah, that's a pass. Oh, come on. You ruined the whole thing.
But it's.
What is true is he still has 3 touchdowns in 3 straight games against the same opponent.
And saying, that really should go down as a run.
He had me fired up. Let's go.
And by Wingstop. Bring the flavor. Order at wingstop.com.
Hey, for Jonathan Taylor, it's 38-7 in favor of the Colts. And tackled at the 25-yard line. Well, Saturday between Air Force and Army. Then at 3:30, big-time matchup in Maryland. And the upset-minded Terps host numbering on Paramount+. A couple of former Terps going head-to-head here in this one. Chigo Conquo.
That uniform.
On Indianapolis this morning, the buzz with that Indiana football team and these Colts. And we were talking to Jonathan, the WNBA. I mean, there's a lot of good things. And as Taylor told us, they were all feeding off each. It's a good time here in the state of Indiana. Ward throwing and incomplete.
Close.
Yeah.
It's the type of city where you will have more interaction with other teams and other people, and then come to game. Indiana and Ohio State do not play in the regular season. What if that is your big wild?
3rd down and 6 for Ward over the middle to deep. Just been handed a very important note from our statistician, Mike Notaro.
He says it's a running play?
No teams against the same opponent.
No, well done.
So how about that?
Well, how come Mike didn't give you that before?
Yeah, there's Ward, and he is brought down.
Adibare is a guy who's had some really good rushes for this defense this season. He's a guy that on the inside uses legs, and Aditomiwa Adibare is able to track him down right there.
One of the better defense. I'm sure he likes getting that play made.
Ward hit as he throws and still completes it to Di Maloo. Here's another look at it.
Ward, I do admire watching what I'm seeing out of this rookie. because I would expect at this point to see a little bit of through just there.
3rd down and 3. Ward to Pollard for the first down.
And you talk about Cam Ward's toughness and his courage to stand in there. He's had some snaps, haven't gotten the points. The offense isn't as productive as you would like, but you want to still see that growth and development from him.
First down. Cam Ward shared with us that he still keeps in touch with Peyton Manning. He first met him, watched a lot of Titans games. They'll give Cam Ward some notes, watch the film, and communicate with Cam. He sees it. He was 3 of 13 with 28 interceptions. You got to keep going, try to keep improving.
Just got a text from Peyton. He says you could have told the story without the interception part. You're Peyton, and it's one of those tough ones. I talked about it with him once, and he's like, you don't want to wish anyone any better. And by the way, Archie just sends encouragement. Peyton sends the critiques.
He's finally brought down at the 18-yard line by Eric Johnson. 9:45. With this big lead and approaching 9 minutes to play, Riley Leonard is the backup QB for Ward, throwing incomplete. And talk about this Colts secondary and all the injuries. They have played well today against Cam Ward.
Chance to go out there and compete. You haven't heard his name much of at all. We haven't heard Mekhi Blackman's name as much. They're covering well on the outside.
And running with Pollard on 3rd down, and Pollard for Tony Pollard.
And you notice if you watch the Colts defense, it's almost all backups, but those corners and we just saw it there, Mekhi Blackman missing an open field tackle, but they are really excited about his development. They feel like his confidence on up.
Spears slides over. Direct snap to Spears. Johnson makes the tackle for the Colts defense. He was signed off the Dallas Cowboys practice squad in late September.
Ford is the running back. He kept the pocket open like it was a fake, but he never closed it like he had.
12th play of the drive. Ward, it's 3rd and goal. He can really great throw.
Isn't that the type of throw you should make down at the goal line, Jason?
Oh, yeah, low. Any throws that are right there at the Cam Ward.
On 3rd and goal, Ward trying to escape from the... They lose yards on the play. It's 4th and goal.
Just not many places for your receivers to go to get open in the red zone with the back line.
At this point in the game, it's 4-down territory.
Yep.
Nothing's there on 3rd down. Throw the ball away so you can come right back on 4th down.
To the end zone, intercepted. Chris Colts can do no wrong. 3 passing touchdowns in a game, and you see most points in the first 8 games in franchise history. Back, making his NFL debut. He was a 6th-round pick out of Notre Dame. Began his collegiate.
Well, Danny Pinter, probably the guy that he works with most in practice. Danny battled for the starting interior offensive lineman, did Danny Pinter.
Tyler Goodson is in at a year ago for the Irish, rushed for 906 yards and 17 rushing touchdowns.
The first series of the national championship game, didn't it, against Ohio State, and ended up scoring a touchdown for Ohio State
right now. But A.D. Mitchell is in the game, and obviously you guys know everything that's gone on with him since the fumble.
Over to make the play. Good to see him back in the game after he left earlier with an injury. And a 3-and-out will bring
the ball game. I'm certainly hoping it's the beginning of him getting more and more playing time. I know that was a bad error. He fumbled at the goal line. That move he put on to turn it into a long-distance play, he's the type of guy.
For a fair catch at the 34-yard line. Well, NFL on CBS and streaming on. Go to wings this year. Nice little
make a nice little move.
Maybe try some hot wings, see if you can handle that.
See, I think that's good tape.
Cam Ward still in there, and Okonkwo
Pass interference. It's defense number 41. First down at the spot of the foul.
And it is.
Well, upcoming for this Colts team, guys, as we see who is running the team. She took over for her dad, Jim. Her and her two sisters collectively running the football operation. And no, it didn't start this year, folks. She's been doing it for years. Fully involved, understanding what's going on with her.
Beat the Dolphins, and the presence and impact that Jim Irsay's passing has had on this organ. And everything has come together for this Colts team through 8 weeks of the season.
I wonder who got to bring in. I think Shane Steichen had it made and brings it to the ball game each week.
Spears on the catch for the third-year running back out of Tulane. Michael Pittman had the guitar today, Charles. There's your answer. And what does he do? He goes out with 8 catches, too.
Automatic. And Carly Irsay Gordon has an earpiece. She's monitoring what's going on with her ball club and operation to find out how we're going to keep improving, how we're going to keep making. I think it's a great innovation, isn't it?
It only makes sense. I think for ownership, it doesn't mean you're the smartest football person, how it's managed throughout. So you know what the expectations are of your head coach, your general manager, and everybody else underneath you.
This is, if you're a Titans fan, what you have to try to get excited about. The number of rookies on this offense. Mike McCoy said that's the neat thing here is these guys are all learning together. They can grow together.
2 straight weeks to meet with Cam Ward and talk to people in the building about this young man, and they rave about
AJ, it's been fun to meet with Cam Ward the last 2.
Nitpicky when he's watching film, even when there's those bright spots you all were mentioning. He says if it doesn't feel good, he's still not. That toughness on himself is what got him here to the NFL, guys.
Yeah. And it's on himself says something.
Here's Spears inside the 5.
AJ, is he really tougher on himself?
And his cousin, Quandre Diggs, is a hater, too, is his words.
Yeah, he said he'd come to the sideline.
That's called holding you accountable.
And remember, Quandre had a brother who played a long time in this league, Quentin Jammer, former.
Into the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Io Manor.
Nothing was there, and he threw the ball away. A series ago, they were down here in the red zone on a 3rd down. Nothing was there on 4th down. Keeping it now, 4th and 3, gives them another shot to score a touchdown here towards the end of this game.
Let's see if his receivers can win fast on this play and give him a quick target.
It's Spears.
And the best target was a running back carrying it across the goal line.
Then Pollard, since Spears' return from that ankle that he injured in the preseason, with 12 touches, and Spears with 12 touches. Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, who play against Green Bay tonight. And then they travel all the way to Houston. So a tough stretch coming up for the Colts. We'll learn a lot more about them. But hey, what more do you want?
Schedule tough schedule. Like, have you met the NFL yet? That's my first thing. But there's an opportunity next week at home by Miami. And then they get the open week, and then it's Kansas City. They might against the hottest team in the league right now, meaning the Colts.
It was fun even hearing Daniel Jones last week talking to Evan Watt. You love it, and I think that's the mentality of this football team. They went into the season with a ton of confidence, and they're
tried to tell us that, well, I didn't really mean it like that and what have you. I called him out on that one. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. Total of 3 touchdowns on the day.
And it's just unbelievable. He makes it look so easy, and we talk about where comes Quentin Nelson and company. And Quentin Nelson should be in the Protector of the Year conversation as well, the new one, but also keeping Daniel Jones clean throughout the first half of this season.
This year, with 3 touchdowns. The NFL record is 5 in a season. The way he's running certainly has a chance to tie or even break that record.
And what was interesting, when you think about it, with LaDainian, Jonathan Taylor's game has expanded over the last 2 years. His ability to catch football in the backfield. So that record is in reach for him.
Lou McCarthy. 2nd down and 10 out of the 2-minute warning. Riley Leonard remains the Indianapolis. And no gain on the play. Well, tonight on CBS begins with 60 minutes of competition series The Road plus Boston Blue. That's tonight on CBS. See if the Colts throw it on 3rd down and 8. Riley Leonard 0 for 1 today. By Amani Hooker. Intended for Adnan Mitchell, and on 4th down, Rigoberto Sanchez hard. 12 punts in the first 7 games.
He's in the game when they put up 38 points still.
Unbelievable. It's amazing. DK drifting over to his right, and watch it land out of bounds. Turn home to host the Los Angeles Chargers before their bye week.
How about the Chargers Thursday night? We just got done seeing them battle Miami. Big play by Herbert. Joe All must be really good at left tackle, and he.
Julius Chestnut gets the kick. And the Colts will go to 7-1. They'll keep the best record in the NFL, averaging 33. They put up 38 today. Chestnut again. And that could be the final play of the game. And the Colts have swept a season series with the Titans, tied for the most by any divisional opponent since Ray in San Diego. They shake hands at midfield, and the Colts improve their record to 7.